It is an honor to share thoughts of our teacher, Rabbi David Weiss Halivni, on Aharei Mot Kedoshim. Since this Torah reading contains nearly 80 mitzvot, we shall confine our remarks to Aharei Mot, Leviticus chapters 16 through 18. The Torah contains 613 mitzvot, or commandments. Aharei Mot contains a total of 28 mitzvot. All but 3 of these mitzvot deal with sexual taboos. The Torah lists those with whom we are never intimate because they are family. Among non-relatives, the Torah bans all intimacy between 2 members of the same sex. And finally, there is the unique case of husband and wife who are sexually off-limits to one another for part of each month. Rav Halivni draws our attention to chapter 18, verse 6. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. He wonders how the list of forbidden relations in chapter 18 is connected with the earlier chapter on the rituals of Yom Kippur. Rav Halivni reminds us that the biblical drama of Yom Kippur centered around the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, who served in the Kodesh HaKodashim, the Holy of Holies, on that sacred day. If the service was not performed correctly, the consequences could be fatal. Indeed, the opening verse of our Morashah reminds us of just that point by invoking the untimely deaths of Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu. Imagine how terrifying it must have been to serve as a high priest under these circumstances, and he entered the Holy of Holies all by himself. Just as the contemporary cantor chants Hineni before Musaf to express his feelings of inadequacy as a prayer leader, so must the high priest have felt overwhelmed by his task to secure atonement for the entire Jewish people. The High Holiday Machzor tells us that when the high priest successfully exited the Kodesh HaKodashim, there was a national celebration. They celebrated his ability to be alone before God and secure their forgiveness. He celebrated the fact that he did not let down the entire Jewish people. The Torah reading on Yom Kippur afternoon is the list of forbidden relations. Rav Halivni makes a bold analogy between that list and the intimacy of a permitted marriage. Properly understood, the union of husband and wife helps us identify with the struggle of the high priest on Yom Kippur. The high priest could experience colossal success or catastrophic failure. Similarly, based on the timing of their union, the list reminds us that the mitzvah of marital intimacy could become a serious violation of Jewish law. Rav Halivni draws a major conclusion, and I quote, "A person who cannot live with solitude will also have difficulty living with others. If one cannot enter the sanctuary alone, one cannot do so meaningfully with a congregation. The goal is to live meaningfully both alone and with others." End quote. Rav Halivni reminds us that there are risks in human relationships. More young people today, for example, more today than ever before, are afraid to risk the commitment of marriage and the creation of a family. The Midrash tells us that this phenomenon is not new. Amram, the father of Aaron and Miriam, directed all Israelite men in Egypt to divorce their wives. Why marry and produce more slaves for Pharaoh? Fortunately, his young daughter Miriam saved the day. "Father," she said, "your decree is worse than Pharaoh's. He only wanted to kill our baby boys. Your decree would wipe out the baby girls as well." Amram recognized her wisdom. He remarried his wife and instructed all Israelite men to do the same. From that reunion, Amram and Yocheved were blessed with a baby boy, Moshe. In every generation, people ask, how can we bring life into such a world? As a survivor, Rav Halivni surely grasped that temptation. His childhood friend, Eli Wiesel, struggled with this very issue until late in his 40s, when the Lubavitcher Rebbe convinced him how important it was for him to marry and have a family. Why did Rav Halivni leave the Jewish Theological Seminary some 40 years ago? As he put it, those I can daven with, I can't talk to. Those I can talk to, I can't daven with. His final decision? He could do without talking, but davening requires a minyan. Only God himself can be holy by himself. For humans, kedoshim tihiyu. Being holy requires a community with all of its attendant risks. Shabbat Shalom.